Hello guys, so today we're going to be having a look on ThinkLogic's economic calendar and what does set our economic calendar apart from those on the mainstream, on the main media, right? As a trader, we want those data to be reliable, we want those data to be on point at the time, as if you're trading FOMC, if you're trading PMIs, if you're trading GDP, you want those data to be there at that moment. So first of all, I can say to you all that within seconds, you're gonna have this data on your hands as soon as the release happens. But how do I use the economic calendar from ThinkLogic's that has so many things in depth on the back end of the calendar that I wanna show you all, so bear with me, to trade my own strategy. All right, so first of all, we're gonna go to calendar, right? And then economic calendar. On here, we're gonna have, first of all, first page we're gonna arrive will be the recent and next. That means that will happen within 1 to 2 days and today. So let's say today for us is Tuesday, 26th of September, 11:38. So I can already see what has happened on Monday, the 25th of September, 2023. I can see that we had Australian dollar release at 2 o'clock was the Australian RBA John's speech. We had at 5:25 the Euro area ECB Villeroy the Gallau speech. So here is basically what has happened yesterday. If we scroll down a bit, we can see already what's going to happen, what has happened until 11 o'clock, as now is 11:39 for us. So, and then we're going to have in 0 days, and the next release will be in 1 hour and 56 minutes. So we can see that at 1:35 we're gonna have Japan 40-year Japanese government bond auction. Okay, so basically we can have the whole economic calendar on the finger of or on the tip of our finger. Okay, so now how can we actually see the previews, the forecast, what's the impact of those news? Well, let's have a look on the headline of our economic calendar. Just on the top here, the first thing you have to be looking at is the time. So what's going to be the time that news will be released to us on the media, right? So we can see just here that it will be 2 o'clock, 5:25, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and so on. Now, we need to see where this data is coming from. Is it coming from Australia? Is it coming from US? Where this data is coming from? So we can see, and it makes very clear because we have the flag here, right? So Australian flag, of course, will impact Australian data, of course, will impact the Australian dollar, right? So we have AUD here. Euro flag, we're going to have the Europe, right? So we'll impact the euro. And so on. It goes forever. So we have all those data here, all those countries here. Now, what's the event? Sometimes we want to know where is it coming from. We want to know the time so we can, be ready for that. But we want to see as well what's going to be happening in that time. Is it something from US coming at 2 o'clock? Will be the GDP or will be the PMIs? Will be the CPI? So we want to know what is going on in the market. So for instance, let's go for the first one here. So on Monday 25th of September 2023, on the time of 2 o'clock on Sydney time, the country Australia, so the AUD, had an event called Australia RBA John's speech. So we know that the Reserve Bank Australia John's was at a speech, so he was talking to the media. Right, so this is already a lot of information, but we go further. We have the impact as well of the news. So what's the impact? So if we click just on this little star here on the top, we can see that we have a low impact, a medium impact, and a high impact. So a low impact would represent to us as 1 star. So 1 star means that we have a low volatility once that news is released to the media. A medium impact is represented by 2 stars on a color of orange yellowish. So that represents to us that we would have a medium impact towards the market on that time the news is released to the media. And then the high impact news is the one with the 3 stars on the red color. That means that once that news is headed to the media, is released to the media, we're going to have a very, very volatile market, a lot of momentum going on, and very aggressive moves to the upsides and the downsides. Okay? So where can we see these? What's going on with the market on that time? Well, we can just go here on the impact. So we're going to have 1 star, 2 stars, and 3 stars. Indeed, that one was, the Australian RBA joint speech was only 1 star. That means low impact, okay? As it is a speech, we don't have actual, we don't have forecasts, and we don't have previews because it's something that is happening on that moment. So we need to tune in on, a YouTube or something like that on RBA website to be able to see that case John's on a speech. Now, let's go for one that we can rely on. Let's say the German IFO business climate for September. At Monday, 6 o'clock, we had this yesterday, and the impact was a 3 stars. That means that it's a high impact news. So the forecast was at 85.2. What is the forecast? The forecast is when all the economists, well, most of the economists around the globe and the media and the players on the market reunion together and say, what are we expecting that news to be based on the previews, right? So they get the data from the previews. The previews means last month. So this one was for September. The one on last month was August. So August, September. So these previews is basically the data from August, right? So they take this data from August, that was the previews, and they make a forecast that basically for September, right? So they get the data from August to make a forecast for September. And then we have actually the actual. So we're going to have the actual soon as the time hits for the news. So we can see here that it was 85.7. Now, this is green. Can you see that? This is green. What does that color mean? Well, it basically means that it was more than expected. It was positive for Europe. So that means that we can expect on the short term to medium term a positive move for the euro. That means that it would be bullish on that time at 6 o'clock. Okay? So if we click on the news, if we just have a click, we can even see what this IFO business climate represents. So here is the whole description of this news, right? Isn't that so good? Because you don't have to go everywhere and try to get this data. That's all right. It's all here already for you. We can see the upcoming release for the German IFO business climate. It will be in 29 days, 6 hours and 14 minutes. That will be on the 25th of October. And the frequency of this new release is monthly. And we can see already the previous data on here. We can see the 25th of August, the 25th of July, 26th of June, 24th of March, and so on. And we go ahead and we can see the actual, what they have been forecasted, and the previews. Okay? And then on historic data, we can see the forecast and the actual. It's basically this data here on a chart. See, it's so much easier for you to put your eyes and already have a look on the data. The most interesting part is that, have a look on this one. This is unique. This helps you to build your trading system so much as you can have a look on the news, see what was the release, see what was the forecast, and already come here on the market impact data section, and we see this little arrow, the blue arrow here was the time of the release. Okay, so we can see down here, if we go all the way down to here, we can see that this was at 6 o'clock of 25th of September 2023, and that was the time of the news hit at the market. So we can see that this is, we had this massive bullish candle up, and then we had a down move, and then we closed on a higher than on the opening. So that represents as a bullish move. So indeed, that was more than forecasted as we expected, right? And it made a bullish move. We can have a comparison to the Advent and the Euro dollar as well. So the Advent is here and the Euro dollar chart is on here, okay? And then, of course, if you want to have more economic indicator and statistics, we can go and have composite PMI. We can just have a click. And we're going to see the latest release, the actual, the forecast, the previous, the upcoming releases. All this data is here for you. If you want to come back to the full economic calendar, just go all the way down and click in View Full Economic Calendar. And then, if you want to have a look on what's going to happen tomorrow, we can just have a click on tomorrow. And then we're going to have the whole news for tomorrow. If we want to have a look on what's going to happen this whole month, no problem. Just going to click in this month and we're going to have the whole data for this month. Okay? So very useful. You can plan ahead the whole month. You can note it down what's going to happen every day, what's going to happen all the hours, when it's going to happen, what's the forecast, what's the previews, what's the impact, where is it coming from, what's the time, and so on. So if even you want to have a look on what's going to happen this week and you want to take a screenshot on a very nice way, we got your back. So what you can do is just click on that little economic calendar here and we even can download it. So we're going to have the strongest impact news for you on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay? So if you want to come back, well, if you want to download it, you can just download it. If you want to come back, you can just come here and economic calendar again. Now, if you want a specific pace, a specific country, what you want to do is go to this globe here and click on select all, and then you can select, let's say, only US dollar and let's say New Zealand dollar, because you're trading NZD USD. The only interesting news for you would be NZD USD. There you have it, only NZD and USD. NZD is here, not much news for NZD, but keeps on here. So if you want to trade only the high impact news, you can go ahead and click off for the low, click off for the medium, and there you have it, only the high impact news. All right, if you want to come back to normal, not a problem. Just click on those two here back and then click on select all. And there you have it for standard. All right, guys. So if you have any questions about the economic calendar, please don't hesitate. Give us a question and we're going to be happily answering for you. All right, guys. Trade safe and have a good week ahead.